Welcome. This is episode number 10 of Frequency Readings, and once again, I am Michael, your host. In today's episode, we're going to talk a little bit more. I had a few more things I wanted to say, so I think I want to talk to you a little bit more, and then we'll get back to doing some more readings in next week's episode. So today I want to talk about the idea around empowerment. One of the things that's taking place as your frequency goes up is a realization, and it's somewhere around about 600, 700. 700, of course, is the beginning of enlightenment. And people realize when they get up to that frequency that they need to step into their own authority a lot more. Um, this has happened to me, and it's happening to most people right now. I think that as their frequencies go up, what we're realizing is that we've created a system on this planet that is about suppression. It's about repression. It's about putting us down, putting mankind down, even to the extent that what is happening is a division takes place, and it's a constant division. And that division, the lines of those divisions keep changing. The goalposts keep moving around on us. So one minute is whites hate blacks, the next minute blacks hate whites, and then it's about religion. Catholics hate everybody else, or Muslims are the bad guys, or it's that people over there that are causing all the trouble. There's always divisions going on. Right now in the U.S., you see the left versus right dilemma raising its head for the last few years. Canada, the same thing. It's again lefts versus rights, and they can't even talk to each other about disagreements. This is all by design, and this is all by absolute fabrication. So what it means then for the individual whose vibration is increasing and his frequency is thereby going up is that they start to see these lines of division, and it's quite a shock at first because you didn't realize that you were even a part of it beforehand, and that you were playing your role in that too. And so you kind of take a step back. And what I want to say is that it's important that we do, because really you actually see that there is no division, there is no them versus us. There's only ever us, and that's all there ever has been is us. And we have to find a way through this. And there's only one way I can think of to find a way through that, and that's by changing your perspective, okay? And stepping into a new perspective, a new frequency, actually, right? So what you're doing is, as your frequency goes up, your perspective on things also rises. So where you were looking down here at one time and you saw things from that level, now from a higher frequency, you actually see things differently because you can look down at the way you used to view things and realize, oh man, was I ever in error? How could I ever have thought that at one time, right? And that's part of what personal growth is all about. So as our frequencies are rising, and that's one of the things you will see, when you get the reading from me, is how each frequency level has something attached to it, right? So for instance, you might be at 400, the frequency of 400. Well, at the frequency of 400, you're actually you're seeing the perspective What I actually like to say is you're viewing things through the lens of reason, because that's what the frequency of 400 is. It's that of reason. Okay, so that's your perspective. If you were lower than that, you could say be at the frequency of 200. If you were at the frequency of 200, then you're actually looking at your reality through the lens of courage. Okay, see how this works? So if you're up at 600, the frequency of 600 now, you're looking at your reality through the lens of peace. Okay, that's how your perspective is shifting. Okay, now quite often what happens with us is that our frequency might shoot up to say 500. That's the frequency of love. So your perception is through the lens of love, right? So you might be there and then all of a sudden drop down to 200. That's very possible. So now you're no longer viewing things from the perspective of love. You're viewing it from the perspective through the lens of courage. Okay? And that's how these frequencies work. What we want to do, and again, if I think about Jesus the Christ, everything was 1,000. Okay? So he's actually viewing things from an enlightened point of view. That's his perspective, right? And from that perspective, he sees the big picture. Now, if we can stabilize our frequency at 1,000, then guess what? We are also seeing things from the perspective through the lens of enlightenment. So now we can see the whole big picture, right? And we're no longer caught up in all the shenanigans that are going on way below at the lower frequencies, right? That's what the journey is about, is stabilizing everything. Getting yourselves on a nice even keel and not getting sucked down into those lower frequencies. Okay? Now, as we shine our light, as we raise our frequency, then that automatically affects everybody close by. You don't even have to open your mouth. And people will adjust their frequencies accordingly. You will naturally lift them up. So let's get back now to the thought of empowerment. Why is this important at this time? Why is it important for us to step into our power? Well, another word that I like to use instead of stepping into our power, it could be stepping into our sovereignty. Now, why is that important? Well, because we are sovereign beings. We haven't been for a very long time, but we are, that is our natural state, is to be sovereign individuals. That means we walk upon this earth on our authority in alignment with natural laws and universal laws. Now, coming from that place, as your frequency goes up, like I said before about how the frequency works and what the lens is that you're looking at your reality, then you can step into your authority, your sovereignty, and represent yourself in all affairs on this earth. And you let your light shine. You become a beacon to others. And that is how we transform the world. We don't go around converting people. It's not about conversion. It's not about my belief system is better than your belief system. That's not what this is about. What this is about is being your own authority, raising your vibration, raising your frequency, stepping into your authenticity, and becoming a light that shines out to everyone. And that will cause everybody that comes into association with you, comes around you, to automatically change their perceptions as well. They cannot help but do so. That is what changes this world. Okay, I wanted to bring that up because the thought of empowerment, the thought of sovereignty really is closely linked to where our frequency is and what our vibration is at. And it's all about being authentic individuals. That's how we were meant to live our lives, is in authenticity, in a higher frequency, and doing good to everybody. I personally live by the law of do no harm. I have no desire to do any harm to anybody else. I do reserve the right to defend myself if necessary, but it's kind of funny. When you step into that frequency, you don't have to defend yourself against anything or anyone. It's all taken care of for you. And that is the beauty of the reality that was created by the creator of the universe. Okay, I rambled on for almost 11 minutes. I will leave you with that thought. Take care, my friends. And until next week, bye for now.